Right, hello and welcome everyone. So today I thought we'll just quickly go over a match I played yesterday. Now I'm 29 OS, I think, right now, 5 Chev or something, but don't count on it. I'm probably close to, I think, 20 OS or so. But I wanted to play a quick match and I found this relatively lower level noob lobby of sorts. The map is called Kolgomorov remake or something along those lines. I think it's more of a 4v4, 5v5 sort of a map, but we were playing it as 8v8. So I'll just quickly skip here and pause the game for a second just to give you a quick idea of spawn positions and lots of drawing on our side where the blue team. And as you can see, again, I happen to be the highest Chev and OS for my team. Relatively, everyone else is fairly new. Red team have a couple of veterans, but somewhat lower OS. And not diving too deep into that, but I had a strategy which I thought my team would be able to execute, and I just wanted to see how things happen for people when they're somewhat new to the game. That being said, I would like to call out that man Melvin, green player, four chef, so still knows what he's doing, is in a sort of a critical spot, and Ouroboros, I believe they were partying, uh, also in a critical eco spot. So, and these two really did play their roles fairly well as well. Now, what you will notice is I chose a cheeky spawn, and Melvin calls it. I saw a replay once, and this fully failed. Uh, to which I said, okay, yeah, this should probably fail every single time. But without further ado, let's get into it. The idea is we spawn in, everyone plays front, we be highly aggressive on the map, and get some positional advantage. Me having started off with a very full forward spawn, which very quickly, by the way, failed. And that's something that would happen in a lot of lower OS matches. Right from the drawings, we can see that Daisy Knight, our 9 OS player, wants to figure out whether C is an option. And funnily enough, Kiro from the red team has also defined out his part as well. But let me just erase those lines. So we're about 40 seconds in, basics of a base are in. Uh, One thing that's very critical when you jump into a map is sort of figure out where your spawn points are or what sort of metal you're getting. So I see I'm going to get 4 metal per second, best case scenario. But wind is really amazing. It goes up to 25, which effectively makes wind way more efficient than anything else there is. And it just shows across the board everyone has energy basically leaking out if they're not being efficient. I went for two LLTs purely to counter something like this. So Captain Pana, and we'll see he plays really well. He holds his positional advantage on this cliff over here. He's coming out with ticks, and had he been a little bit more aggressive, and if I didn't have LLTs, he could probably take my maxes away, and suddenly this position is lost. Now, a bit unfortunate that Murdoch chose to go down here rather than going head first into Captain Pana, and this does play a bit unfavorably for me. But that's okay. I mean, we knew that things like this would happen going into this match. But what we do want to talk about is how being aggressive helps your bar games. So you do see the red player, 21 OS 3 Chev, knows this and goes, all right, I'm gonna shoot ahead with my ticks. Gets good scouting off. You got the yellow player with 3 air scouts, which is a challenge, and yeah, pink player realizes I'm in front of him and starts calling out that we need to kill this guy. Unfortunately, this hill has some very weird interactions with line of sight. You see, the orange ticks are attacking me. So, great call by Captain Pana, realizing that his lane opponent isn't coming into him, so decides to just attack me a little bit, forcing another LLT out of me. Burns out a little bit of my wind power. I'm running super low on resources, and what I thought was maybe I'll push out like 5 thugs, and because of the hill advantage, we'll be able to keep the pink player pushed back. That didn't work. The pink commander's on top, and I say, you know what? Fine. The commander's up here. I'm gonna go down and attack his base, hoping that he doesn't have a solid build bar. Uh, but I was wrong about that, and probably why I'm not. The OS for me isn't accurate. But you will notice I'm the only player from my team who's pushing in, and Salty Pepper, who realizes this, sort of jumps in with a few ticks to give me vision. So we marched forward with 3 thugs. Again, I'm misaiming, miscalculating everything. This one pawn single-handedly like gets 2 of my thugs because I didn't micro properly. But I got 2 maxes of 3, and had I been a bit micro aware, I could have probably hit more of his eco. Meanwhile, uh, Idiot Savant chooses not to move forward at all, except for that one radar and a bot going forward. Melvin does a funny move, goes into the sea over here, has a line of defense, but nothing pushing into his enemy, and that gives the red player this positional advantage to take more maxes, which, funnily enough, he hasn't taken. So, lucky low OS plays. Oh, Daisy Knight does this blunder over here. He sets up. He's setting up a build power to get a tier 1 area control artillery gauntlet, I believe it's called, and that's gauntlet. Yeah, gauntlet for Armada, and that's probably not a good decision to go for. I think tier 1 artillery is extremely situational, and only if you can get it up like really quickly. Uh, I'd have much preferred if we'd just gone units and sort of attacked with Murdoch. Now, Salty Pepper, being super kind, gives me units, and I'm sort of stuck. So I think, okay, you know what? A couple of LLTs, a couple of radar towers might help me. A random wind turbine to help with my energy stalls. I have literally zero cons over here. So, was it a good idea? Was it a bad idea? I don't know, because I barely have enough metal to continuously be pumping out units. So I thought maybe I don't need a con, uh, and we'll see how that plays out in a minute. Now, Dum plays really well, right? He moves up, unlike his lane opponent, gets control over this hill. But if he chooses to move forward, they can 2v1 and push into the green player Melvin, or they can go into Idiot Savant. But you have about 8 odd units that are not doing anything over here. Same story on our side of the map. I have my thugs up here, and I'm just pelting away if I can. Very little damage, very weird line of sight interactions. Those are maces, by the way. Those were handed over to me. The thug is walking up. Uh, and again, so no aggression from the purple player. So orange player is able to sort of walk in and uh, get a nice 2v1 going against me. And I realize, okay, you know what, this position's lost. I've fed a lot of metal to the enemy team, and I see a bomber come out from the yellow player, which was expected when we saw him go air. And I realized this whole front start has failed, and spur of the moment decision making, this one bombing run gets all of my eco right there. I'm like, cool, that's it. That's all I have. I'm gonna reclaim my lab, and I'm gonna feed that metal uh, to what I thought would be the eco player. Uh, but I made a terrible blunder. I instead end up giving it to that man Melvin. Maybe a misclick, maybe Butterfingers, I'm not sure. But now Pink Player has a strong positional advantage. He's gotten rid of the front line that was holding him back. He can move forward. That man Melvin pulling off a sneaky, and that call happens. So I look over here, I see, okay, 2 comms have sort of fought themselves off, and maybe I should rush over here and try to help. Now, this very moment, I also realize that our eco is being generous, and does a really smart play. He sees that I haven't resigned and starts handing me a couple of hounds. When that happens, I think I'll ping him in a minute that, you know what, give me a jammer and a radar bot as well, because like 2 or 3 hounds with a radar bot and a jammer bot Same as your Sheldon artillery composition, just you can slowly get rid of chaff and frontline defense. So I'm using my commander with what little I can do and just keeping the pink units at bay so that they don't flank the purple pleb. And yeah, so he's giving me the hounds, the jammer, and the radar bot, and I'm sort of pulling them in. Not really sure what to do with them right now, but I definitely need my units on the front line. Now, funny thing, right? That man Melvin, crazy positional advantage. He's between commanders and the maroon base. Instead of making these defenses, maybe just a radar, and just walk forward. He can get rid of things over here with a D gun or just right click them to death. But again, uh, you never know. It's like if we look from that man Melvin's perspective, there's a lot happening over here. There's no line of sight, only radar vision, and maybe that's why he doesn't want to be aggressive. Uh, Maroon player walks forward, sees way too many LLTs. Nope, that was actually pretty cool. All right, so I have my two hounds. I have my commander up here with a random LLT to defend from flanks. And I say, cool, you know what, two units, we'll use those two units, they're T2. I'm going to start using them to get rid of as many things as I can. People weren't being too aggressive. Every volley, I can get rid of at least a unit, if not more. But, the enemy eco has given out T2 cons. One's going to the red player. Is there a T2? Okay, there's one going to the pink player. I think he's going to be sending more out as well. Because I distinctly remember the enemy team having a lot of T2 nexus. Now I've got about, 11 hounds, a jammer, a radar bot. So I let him know, okay, super grateful, go back to scaling, we need to sort of win this. And I have a decent composition up front as well. The enemy red commander has revived. They've ate the remaining corpse of the pink, light purple commander. Colors, not my strong forte. Anyway, so we see, okay, I'm going to be fighting red and orange over here, and pink players slowly deflecting towards the north side, which sort of pulls idiots aren't into this. And I sort of realize, you know what, we've got a pretty solid defensive line, units, static defenses, you name it, it's there. Like, it won't get run over. So maybe if I micro really well, I can push into the red player. And that's what I'm trying to do. But what we see over here, so yellow player who had the air superiority from the get-go chooses to go T2 instead of maybe doing a bombing run. Again, a question mark. Alright, we also see the pink player pushing out Sheldon's top. So that's Cortex. Sheldon's are coming over here. We're going to be fighting into green player, that man Melvin. And I'm just doing the standard hound, standard Sheldon thing, which is just weave in and out with a radar jammer bot. But the yellow player comes out with Shuriken. So clearly the guy knows how to play. It's a good call to pull Shuriken into, and that's close proximity of two commanders, right? And a bomber as well. And you see me trying to dodge something that the bomber might try to pull off. So I see the Shuriken come in, and I say, cool, I'll start dropping random light anti-air, what are they called? Nettles? No, thistles. Nettles for Armada, I believe. Now, in all this while, remember Kiro? So Kiro said, cool, I'm gonna go T2 Navy. Which in itself, different. I mean, that's a unique idea, so can't hold it against him. But the guy chooses to go Dreadnought, maybe expecting something else in the water. And had he gone for a missile boat, yeah, longbow, he could have destroyed bases, units, and there's nothing we could have done about it. Missile boats are just annoying to deal with as someone who's close to the coast. But you see, we finally break through over here, and pink player is forced to come. So we're forcing the enemy aggressive player to react to what we are doing, rather than trying to counter what the enemy is doing. And now with the radar jammer, radar bot, I know I can just slowly walk forward. Hopefully there's not too many defenses up front. We do have Sheldon coming in. But I also push forward with my own commander. And in a minute you'll see why that helps. Probably could have attacked the navy over here, gotten rid of the base, but I thought it's better to go for the eco up front. Didn't expect a lot of eco. So again, Shuriken come in, and you see me being a little bit toxic, going bonkers over air. I think that this is when I call him out. So Green's gone air. It's a one chef guy new to the game. That there's no reason to be nasty. But I call out for E, okay, and everyone sort of funnels E to me because I wanted to get a couple of A towers up. Now, Sheldon, while they have super long range, they really don't deal a lot of damage. Right? So my hounds were paralyzed, EMP'd, and they didn't die. And we're starting to get rid of the red base now. And the yellow player comes forward. So those two anti-air towers along with those fighters, we get rid of that one wasp, which could have actually gotten rid of this entire composition of hounds. I realize, you know what, I don't have any energy. Sheldons are over here. I didn't know how many units, but I said, cool. If I'm gonna die, I might as well march forward and get rid of a couple of chefs. So got rid of 3 Sheldons over there. Was it worth it? Don't think so. And now I'm sort of being funneled into a corner. I'm not sure what to do. Where I think I'll momentarily realize that I can probably go up this cliff, and that's where I'll go. Now, in all this duration, so remember, we've marched forward all the way from Hound composition, which was here, slowly got rid of one base. Murdoch has all these units. Had he chosen to go forward, Orange base has gone T2. They don't have any units, like 3 LLTs. That's not going to defend. 1 commander combined does not have. Pink player's gone T2. So they didn't have units. In fact, Dumb has gone T2. Yellow's gone T2. And over here, we'll see Maroon player going T2. So everyone's going T2. The Navy's gone T2 over here. So this guy's T2. So all of enemy team is T2. Technically, we are at a disadvantage. But this elevation advantage and hounds start hitting eco. So that's one more player. We got rid of the red player and his base. And now I have hounds over here. So Shuris will come into play. I have a couple of hounds. I realize this is probably it. I'm pinging air, asking for air support. And I say, cool, I am gonna die. This composition, this is it for it. So let's see what damage can I do to eco. So any hound that is not paralyzed will slowly start walking forward, just doing what little can be done. And this will slowly wither out now. Now we have pink with fiends, and that's a problem because fiends can very easily march into this and kill all of it. We've got longbow. Okay, he did go longbow, and longbow is hitting the one base that it can hit. But now what? Like, what's the grand plan with Navy? And that's why I told Days Knight that don't go Navy. It doesn't make sense. You'll have geographical advantage. You'll be able to get one full corner of the map, but you can't do much with it. So yeah, they get rid of my hounds, and I asked Ouroboros to hand over some sprinters. So me realizing that this part of the map is empty, no defenses now, I was hoping that I'd just sprint through and get some over here. But also I felt that we were behind, which now that I look at the stats, we really weren't. But that's what it plays on you, because Green's gone bombers and doesn't do a bombing run on enemy eco. Instead chooses to go for a bombing run on a Maroon commander and gets some of it, but that's a lot of bombers. That's a lot of metal lost to T2 fighters now. And again, purple player not being aggressive. Into T2 you can't be aggressive to begin with. Salty Pepper has gone T2 and has gone into a C lab, so that was an interesting one. Fortunately, Melvin had transitioned a bit sooner and can do something about the top of the map. I have my sprinters over here. I think I'm just like APM stalling. They start moving. And the grand plan is move in. Yeah, I called it out as well. Alright, this is where we're gonna go. Destroyed. And that does not play out at all. Got the Maroon commander up top. Yellow, being the smart player he is, starts scouting with his air scouts, which is massive. Yeah, so my sprinters charge in, but there's gunslingers, there's shuriken, there's rocket bots. Sheldon died. Yeah, that's me raging on the air player. I'm really sorry, Grom. It's okay. We all. I played air, man. It's all right. It'll take some time. We'll get there. Pardon me. But Grom does move forward with his fighters, gets rid of two bombers. That's massive. And now we have Salty Pepper moving forward with T1 units, and for some reason, Lamoop, I don't know how that's pronounced, moving back with Sheldons. Okay, maybe that's why. So Commander for D guns, but I think this composition. Oh, if they. And for some reason, they call her Resign War. Funny. I think I'll do. Yeah, so my thought process was I'm gonna go help these Sheldons. So sprinters came all the way over here, and I'm gonna sort of provide front cover for Sheldons. And as I move towards that, a dragon's maw hits me, and I'm like, okay, shit, okay, maybe that's not happening. Back out. But I realize, okay, my sprinters have been spotted. I got to do something about it now. So I just go full aggressive. Again, the brown player has a couple of Sheldon up here, right? And they're shooting at my sprinters, but there's not a lot they can do. They got to be aggressive, as I said. So there's a T2 lab that he just started off with. There's Shuriken over here, but I get rid of the build power. I get rid of his wind turbines, his energy converters. Maroon player has the labs, doesn't have the units, does not have the eco to make those units. Suddenly, green player's lane opponent is safe, but we've got fiends coming in, and sprinters don't really do well against fiends. And I'm thinking maybe I can do the hill thing again and probably get behind. Does not work. Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say that I don't have a lot of tricks up my sleeve. But the maroon player taps out, and that's what gave me some confidence. And round two of sprinters is ready, so I'm hoping that I can probably go somewhere with that. I realize there's way too many fiends, so I redirect into the pink player. I think pink player spots this one. Maybe not. There's that one bomber, a couple of gunships. Oh yeah, so he's got units moving into me. He's got Sheldon away. Okay, that's a lot of gunships. But again, being aggressive with the sprinters, I'm able to wipe out quite a few wind turbines. I'd say that's like 60-70% of his wind turbines, all of them over here that we're able to wipe out. So again, we'll see pink players stalling on E. And that's the objective. Like I don't have units. I'm super grateful that our eco players giving some units to me, but like you have units, you use them. These units are standing. These units, well, not the right composition to deal with fiends. Oh, this was an interesting one. So I was a bit worried about this whole composition with the number of fiends coming over here till I spotted these two, what are they called, fat boys, and that sort of gave me some confidence that maybe we can deal with it. I don't think my snipers even had the energy to. Did they? Of course, okay, yeah. Oh, well, snipers missed. Okay, sharpshooters that were handed over didn't work. These fiends have a straight path forward. Like it's exactly what I did against the pink player. All he has to do is just forward into the enemy base. But I don't think this one worked out too well for him. And I think Fat Boy is something over here. Was it a Fat Boy shot? Or was it just. Okay, the fiends just kill themselves somehow, I guess. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay. So, yeah, the fiend threat is gone, the Sheldon threat is gone. We've got way too many units on our ridge. Green player chooses to be aggressive. Oh, how I love it. Uh, but we finally got a tick spam happening over here, and we have way too much eco. So you'll slowly see Ouroboros. Yeah, he's burning 100 metal. He's got 160 income, and I'll ping him more. Yeah, more T1 tech labs. He's gonna start building more tech labs, and this is it. This is what wins us. Like I've charted out the path that we can take. The enemy eco player is sending out fiends. We've seen that they don't work. They just fail. There's enough defenses over here to deal with fiends now. Uh, Gunships again. I think the air player could have gone into 2 or 3 T2 bombers with like 5-5 support aircraft, T2 fighters, and like they really shred T1 fighters. So he could have pushed in. And whoa, okay, the pink player went for a little bit of T1 air lab as well. But gunships again, this is what happens with gunships. Like they're really slow, so if you run into AA, they will probably die, and that's a lot of metal in them as well. Like, that's 1,000 metal for the 3 gunships that are alive. I think there were like 10, so that's 3,000 metal worth of gunships that couldn't do a lot. And now we've got a tick spam going in. Once again, the orange player throughout the game played really well, right? He's got a full gunslinger defense. It's about 11 gunslingers over here. This gunslinger line, if they march forward, like this line moves up over here, moves up over here, moves up over here. They're through. There's no threat from this player. These two players are holding this side of the map. But it's the defensive mindset that sort of gets to the red team, and most of my team as well. Like I'm guilty of that as well. But this specific game was all about being hyper aggressive. So no commander, like barely any units. I'm being handed units over. More sprinters come in. I think this is the final volley of sprinters, or maybe there's another one that comes through. We've got tick spam over here. I'd called out a savant as well that we need a tick spam, so he's built that as well. Green player again building way too many defenses. It works for AI, but not against real players. No, this was an intense one. I thought maybe this bombing run could get us, but I mean, shout out to Ouroboros. The guy recognizes there's air threat, immediately goes into anti-air bots. So Murdoch loses his eco. I think the green fighters will come in sometime soon, I hope. But there's already a couple of AA bots over here. So Murdoch's base is gone. The bombers spread out. But these are, seaplane bombers. Oh, there we go. So Salty Pepper loses his things as well. Yep. So tried a sprinter push into his eco, failed. But I had a second batch coming in. So there's another group of sprinters in there. And these fiends move back to defend against this line of ticks. I'm really proud of this one. And that's it. We've got 3 sprinters, right? So that one goes down. I think this one dies out as well. Oh, so that's the last one, and that's all I need. That's all the energy converters, and pop. Off they go. And I realized, okay, I still have one more sprinter. What more can I do? So I'm just doing what little damage that can be done. So I think I'll get this. Meanwhile, tick spam reinitiates. Units are moving forward. And now that's 4 fat boys. So that's a steady composition. I didn't finish off his storage. Recognize that orange player is a threat as well, so I choose to go for his explosive economy. So that's one advanced energy converter. Sprinter's not going to be able to deal with that. There's a gunslinger coming in, there's bombers on my head. So just go for the explosive economy, keep running around. I think I spot that one as well, and I'm like, cool, I'll get rid of that converter as well. And while I'm doing this, I hear the bombers, so I decide I'm going to lose that sprinter, but get that one last energy converter. Again, the navy is stuck over here. That's a lot of metal stuck in the sea, right? So what's that? That's about 10k metal that can't deal with any of this. And we've got an amazing tick spam coming in. Brown player finally chooses to initiate with the center of the hill, but I've got sprinters on his Trident. So they're gonna go down. Ticks are moving through. Sprinters, and once again my love for the hills in this map, for some reason I decide my sprinters are going to go on top of the hill and then into the enemy eco. So that's the route I'm taking. Purple units attacking brown player. Brown player doesn't have a fusion anymore, he's losing his T2 lab. Ticks are moving forward, yellow player's lost. It's about aggression. They had T2, everyone had T2, and the game's pretty much over at this point. I think they'll call a resign vote. Just as my sprinters reach the point they're supposed to, yep, there we go, resign vote's called. And that's it. I mean, aggression wins you games. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Alright, till next time. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.